Good afternoon. Welcome to City Council meeting for November 22nd, 2022. Items listed on the agenda may be taken out of order. Two or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, and any item on the agenda may be removed or related discussion may be delayed at any time. I will call the meeting to order. Madam City Clerk, could we have a confirmation of the agenda posting and roll call?
Yes, thank you. The agenda was posted in accordance with open meeting law. All members are present. Member Claudia Bridges is on the telephone.
Thank you. And we will begin with the invocation from Reverend Carlton Fogg with the VFW. Please rise if able.
Please join me in prayer. Gracious Father, thank you for bringing us all here today to discuss things for the benefit of the people who live in this beautiful city. Father, I ask you, everybody on this city council, all the city employees, and everybody that lives here, keep them under your graces, keep them safe. Father, I ask you with our public servants, our law enforcement, our firefighters who are diligently working to keep this city safe. I ask you bless them also, especially as we enter the holiday season when we know we are more and more busy. Father, I ask this in your gracious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend Fogg. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam City Clerk, were there public announcements?
Yes, City Manager Taylor Tedder.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Tonight marks a special occasion, so we wanted to present appreciation of the service of Councilmember Adams and Mayor McManus of your time on the City Council. So I'll read this. So this is presented to Kieran McManus in appreciation of your service on the Boulder City Council 2017 to 2022. And presented to James Howard Adams in appreciation of your service on the Boulder City Council 2019 to 2022. So if you'd like to come up and we'll take a photo and just I would like to express my gratitude to you and really appreciate the dedication and time that you've spent on the council, and it's not an easy job, and really appreciate all the support that you've provided me over my now over a year here. So thanks again, and we really appreciate it.
Again, Mr. Tedder, I appreciate that very much. It's been a privilege to be here. Wasn't aware that I would be here again this evening, but because of the way state law read, we've discovered that there's an appeal process that has to go by, but I believe it's November 29th is when the new council members will be sworn in at a special meeting at 7 p.m. That would be next Tuesday. Councilmember Adams?
Just again, thanks to the community, thanks to staff, thanks to everyone. It has been difficult work, but it has also been humbling and very rewarding at the same time, and nothing but sincere gratitude to everyone here in this community. Thank you.
And I do apologize. I think I forgot someone. So Councilmember Bridges is on the phone, and she was presented with hers about a week ago. But again, we do appreciate your service as well, Member Bridges, and wish you well and appreciate all of your support.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. It was really an honor and a privilege to get to serve on the City Council. Again, I'm humbled by the opportunity that I had and was grateful for it, and I thank you.
Thank you. Any other public announcements? That would be you.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here tonight. On behalf of many of the residents who couldn't be here tonight due to the fact that it is a Thanksgiving vacation or holiday, I'd like to thank two gentlemen on this panel tonight. First, Kieran McManus. Personally, thank you for always keeping your promises and moving us here in Boulder City, successfully working to bring transparency to city government, and for ensuring our government finances are safe and sound. You've always been the leader in recognizing the importance of preserving our history and heritage for the future generations, and obviously have worked tirelessly to implement workable solutions for those preservations. We all owe you the greatest thanks and confident you will continue to lead us as you always have done, not only as a city council member, but also as our mayor. James, thank you so much for selflessly stepping up to serve our community, as I'm sure I can't even imagine what you've learned and how hard it's been. So I really do appreciate the fact that you had the courage to step up to do that for our community. We sincerely appreciate all that you've done, and we wish you the very best in the future, no matter what you do. Thank you so much.
Can I get you to state your name for the record, please?
Sure. Charm McElree, McElree. You're welcome.
And again, thank you for those words. Anyone else wishing to speak?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Valerie McNay, and I'm not good like Charm and have a prepared speech, but I wanted to be here at your last meeting for our wonderful mayor, Karen McManus, and our wonderful councilman, James Howard Adams. You've been so wonderful and giving and put so much effort and time and work into all that entailed in being on this council and being mayor. So I applaud you, miss you, but I know you'll be other good political positions in the state, I hope.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can't resist, Joe Hardy. Thank you. Appreciate your service. Appreciate your willingness to do and be and protect and watch over the city of Boulder City. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And it'll all be yours next week, so. All right, anyone else? All right, we will then open our initial public comment period. Public comment during this period is for items listed on the agenda for action. We will also take comment via phone and any emails that were submitted prior to the meeting. Anyone wishing to speak will have up to 5 minutes to do so, and as always, we ask that you be civil and concise in your comments. Is there anyone wishing to speak in the initial public comment period? All right, we will take anyone wishing to call in at this time for the initial public comment period. The phone number is 702-589-9629. Again, this is the initial public comment period. Anyone wishing to call for items listed on the agenda, the phone number is 702-589-9629. Madam City Clerk, were there any emails received?
No comments were received.
Thank you. All right, hearing no one, we will close the initial public comment period and move to approval of the regular agenda. Any changes, Madam City Clerk,
No changes.
Madam City Attorney,
No changes.
and Mr. City Manager?
Yes, staff will be requesting removal of item number 16, and that will be returning at the next meeting.
Thank you. We'll bring it to council. Any changes for the regular agenda?
No changes.
I will make a motion then to approve the regular agenda with the removal of item number 16.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, approval of the consent agenda. Again, Madam City Clerk, any changes?
No changes.
And Madam City Attorney,
No changes.
Mr. City Manager.
No changes.
Thank you. Council members, any changes for the consent agenda?
Yes, I would like to make a change and have item 6 move to the regular agenda for the purpose of disclosure.
Any other changes?
No changes.
Councilmember Bridges, would you like to make a motion?
Yes, I would like to accept, I would like to make a motion to accept the consent agenda with the change that item 6 be moved to the regular agenda.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, that will bring us then to item number 6. Councilmember Bridges, you have a statement to make?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I would like to disclose that I am and continue to be a volunteer grant coordinator for emergency aid, and though I perform the position as a volunteer without compensation, I do have a commitment in a private capacity to emergency aid. I have consulted with the city attorney and believe that this relationship would likely impact the judgment of a reasonable person in my situation on this item. Additionally, the funding is for emergency aid only and not for a group of similarly situated persons, so the group presumption does not apply. Therefore, I will be abstaining on this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, did you want to make a presentation on this item?
Yes. During the September 7th, 2022 City Council meeting, the council recommended reallocating $50,000 of American Rescue Plan Act funds to assist the emergency aid of Boulder City. They detailed to us in their request they were running out of funds and were in need of the $50,000. So the City Council recommended reallocation of the remaining $26,000 of ARPA funding to emergency aid and reducing $24,000 from the vaccines and test kits line item in our spend plan, making up that $50,000. So this is just the resolution approving that recommendation, making the $50,000 available to emergency aid of Boulder City. I'm here for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? All right, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 7546.
Second?
Oh,
All yours, Bob.
yeah, I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, Mr. City Manager. That brings us to item number 7, pertaining to the flood control master plan.
Tonight, we are here to hear matters pertaining to the 2022 Flood Control Master Plan update, and we have Deborah Yamachika, the Principal Civil Engineer, and Andrew Trelease, the Assistant General Manager of the Regional Flood Control District, regarding the 2022 Flood Control Master Plan update for the City of Boulder City.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. I'm Debbie Yamachika, Principal and Civil Engineer with the Clark County Regional Flood Control District. I will be presenting the 2022 Flood Control Master Plan update for the City of Boulder City. The Flood Control Master Plan update, or MPU, is required to be updated every 5 years per Nevada revised statutes. During this process, the Flood Control Facility Plan is reviewed and updated. The last MPU for Boulder City was adopted in 2018. The 2022 MPU was completed by district staff with technical support from Atkins. The update process included initial assessment of flood control facilities through field investigation and data collection. Facility needs were coordinated with Boulder City, then watershed hydrology and hydraulic analyses were updated accordingly. Facility costs were calculated and an MPU document was prepared. The Boulder City MPU study area consists of the Hemingway, Georgia Buchanan, North Railroad, and West Airport watersheds, as shown on the figure. For each watershed, land use was updated based on information provided by the city. Previous soil and topographic data were verified. Planned facilities were modified or removed from the MPU if necessary, and new planned facilities were added in certain locations to mitigate potential flood hazards. This figure of the Hemingway watershed shows existing regional facilities in blue and proposed facilities in red. Since the 2018 MPU, approximately half a mile of conveyance facilities and 2 debris basins were constructed along the Hemingway Channel. At the top of the figure, the yellow circle indicates new storm drain and a debris basin in Robinson Lane that was added to the 2022 MPU. The new storm drain connects existing upstream and downstream facilities and will provide maintenance relief in Robinson Lane due to sediment deposition from storm events. Other modifications to the MPU included recategorizing existing culverts under US 93 adjacent the Hemingway Channel as local facilities. This was due to their conveyance of lower flow rates and being maintained by the Nevada Department of Transportation versus Boulder City. Lastly, a planned culvert under Valley View Lane, located at the southern end of the Hemingway Channel, shown at the bottom of the figure, was removed from the MPU due to right-of-way constraints. In the Georgia Buchanan watershed, approximately 570 feet of regional conveyance facility was constructed by a private developer as part of the Townsite Solar Project. This project is located adjacent the I-11, shown at the bottom left of the figure. At the top of the figure, the yellow circle on the left indicates new storm drain in Adams Boulevard near Cottonwood Street that was added to the 2022 MPU. This storm drain will alleviate existing flooding during rain events that cause traffic lane closures in Adams Boulevard. The yellow circle on the right indicates new storm drain in Utah Street from Del Prado to an existing wash. This was added to the MPU to replace existing undersized storm drain. The plan for the North Railroad watershed is the same as a 2018 MPU, as no facilities were constructed or added since then. In the West Airport watershed, approximately 1.9 miles of regional conveyance facilities were constructed as part of the Townsite Solar Project, shown at the bottom of the figure. Regional facility alignments in the MPU were modified to conform to the solar project improvements. No new facilities were added to the 2022 MPU for this watershed. In 2022, the value of existing facilities is $74.8 million. The cost of proposed facilities is $32.6 million. The 2018 values are listed below for comparison. As you can see, the value of existing facilities has increased and proposed cost has decreased since the 2018 MPU, and this is due to construction of master plan facilities since 2018. The action needed is to recommend that the Regional Flood Control District Board of Directors approve the 2022 MPU for the City of Boulder City as presented. This item will be considered by the district's board on December 8th, 2022, and the MPU will not become effective until it is adopted as an amendment by the City of Boulder City and the Regional Flood Control District. And that concludes the presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? I would just like to say I appreciate the work that the Flood Control District does. You know, the amount of work that's been done over the previous decades have made a huge difference in the Vegas Valley and here in Boulder City. Mr. Treelise, it's always nice to know we have a Boulder City person working there at the Flood Control District that knows our city very well, having grown up here. I will be happy to make a motion to approve this master plan update, Resolution 7544.
A second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Again, thank you very much for the presentation. Brings us to item number 8, introduction of bill number 1926.
I'll move,
Go ahead.
I'll move to introduce bill number 1926 with title, read the title except for the reading. Waive the
would you
reading.
Waive
Except for
the
title.
reading.
The last night, you know. Waive the reading except for title.
There we go.
Thank you. Bill number 1926, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada, approving agreement number 22-1999 between the City of Boulder City and the Southern Nevada Water Authority for the development of an electrical switch yard and electrical transmission facilities.
Usually have some part in there about when it will be.
I was going to say all three at one time, but yes, thank you. Bill number 1926 will be considered at the December 13th, 2022 regular meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 9, bill number 1927.
Yes, I would like to move to introduce bill number 1927 by title only, waive the reading.
Bill number 1927, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City amending Title 10, traffic regulations to convert certain criminal penalties for certain minor traffic offenses to civil penalties in accordance with Nevada revised statute. This matter will be considered at the December 13th, 2022 regular City Council meeting.
Thank you. And item number 10, bill number 1928.
I move to introduce Bill number 1928 by title only, waive the reading.
Bill number 1928, an ordinance of the City of Boulder City, Nevada to amend the zoning map to rezone approximately 2 acres at the southeast corner of Quartzsite Road and Nevada Way from S Study to GM Government Municipal, AM-22-360. This matter will be considered at the December 13th, 2022 regular City Council meeting.
Thank you. Brings us to item number 11, receive the Audit Review Committee report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Brock Armentrout, the Finance Department's Contracts and Real Estate Manager, will be handling this item.
Thank you, City Manager. Brock Armentrout, again, the city's contract real estate manager here on behalf of the city's finance department. Each year, the city is required to have an independent audit of all of our financial statements, and it's required by state law to be conducted by an independent auditor from an outside firm. In other words, the city can't audit itself. The city has, over the last several years, retained the firm Hinton Burdick CPA and advisors to perform these audits, and they completed our most recent audit for fiscal year 23 that ended last June 30th. The Audit Review Committee reviewed the completed annual comprehensive financial report, also sometimes referred to as an ACFR, at their meeting held on October 27th of 2022. After review and receipt of the presentation by Hinton Burdick, they have forwarded a recommendation to the City Council that you accept the annual comprehensive financial report for the year ending June 30, 2022. Any questions?
I have a comment. As chair of the Audit Review Committee, it was wonderful to see the presentation, and I'm always excited to see a audit that has no findings. I've been extremely impressed with the finance department for the city of Boulder City and the hard work they do, and the work that was presented to us by Burdick Hinton. That's it. I'm sorry, Hinton Burdick. Wrong order.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding this? Councilmember Adams?
Well, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to comment that I greatly appreciate staff having given us the time and making sure that the Audit Review Committee was able to have time before this meeting in which we would approve it, to make sure that everyone had time to properly review, make sure that everything was on the up and up, which of course it would be, but it's always beneficial to have that time to ensure that. So really, really thankful to the staff for ensuring that happened this time. Thank you.
I'll pass that along.
Anyone else? I would just make the comment that, looking through the annual report, the city's finances appear to be in excellent condition. Balances have gone up. The problem that I do see with balances going up, and it's not a significant issue, other than it appears to be one that continually repeats itself, where projects that are budgeted and approved by council are not approved. The money goes back into whatever fund that project was coming out of, and then just goes away. And we continue to see the balance go up. Earlier this year, as I recall, or perhaps at the end of last year, there was discussion about raising the fees for many of the services that the city provides to its residents. I objected to that, as it didn't appear that any of those increases were necessary. And looking at our final ending balances, that appears to be the case. We shouldn't be asking our residents for more money for services or taxes when we don't need it. Government has a job to do, and the residents, give us the ability to do that. But we shouldn't be constantly asking them for more money. So I am happy to see these balances are in good condition. Any other questions or comments regarding this? Councilmember Jorgensen?
I just want to say that it is nice to be in a city where we're fiscally responsible, where we do have a little bit of money in there, because we all can see through COVID or things that happen that it is wise to save for that rainy day. We don't know when that's going to happen. Monies that are sitting in there, I served on the audit committee, don't go away. They still apply to the area that they were intended to be used. So I know that we are slow sometimes in accomplishing some of the things that we need to accomplish, and some of that happens because currently we have supply chain issues, we have hiring. I mean, we're in competition with everybody else who's trying to get everything done. But again, like I said before, I have every confidence that that money will be used for what it's supposed to be used for. I'm appreciative for the wise stewardship that's been done over the years in the finance department, so that we can be a city that is ready for a rainy day, so thank you.
And again, I don't want to have it misconstrued as far as my comments go that, you know, there are things that are being carried forward because, again, what my experience has been over the years is projects that are approved by city council that are not done are not due to supply chain issues, they're not due to personnel, they're just simply not done. Staff chooses not to do them. That money then goes back into usually the general fund or the capital improvement fund. And what that leads to is we do see this ever-increasing balance. I believe that the capital improvement fund, the voter-approved capital improvement fund now is somewhere up in the neighborhood of $18 million. That's a significant amount of money. Fortunately, the citizens were wise enough years ago to tell the council that they have to approve expenditures, I believe, of more than $1 million out of that fund. But the point I'm trying to make is when the council has decided on projects that need to be done or should be done for the benefit of the community, they actually should be done. And what happens is those projects don't get done, and then the money just fades away back into the budget. So I want to clarify, make it clear that the intent should be that when city council says a project should be done and votes to put that into the budget, that staff should then not later make a decision, well, we're just not going to do that, and have that project undone. The money then is said not to carry over, but to go back into the budget and be used or just accumulate in that budget. So there is a difference between that and the constant repetition of these are supply chain issues and all of that have no bearing on that because these are projects that have been approved but never completed prior to the pandemic. So I get that, you know, there are statements like that that always say, well, we couldn't do it because of this, but then that project should be carried over until the next budget cycle, and that's not what happens. The project just goes away. So it is very good to see these fund balances go up. Again, I know during my time here on City Council, we've made sure that reserve funds were established. Those funds are becoming fully funded now, which does give the city the ability to be able to weather that rainy day should it come, and also do a better job of budgeting and letting our residents know where that money is intended to go, whether it's vehicle replacements, you know, risk assessment, those types of expenses that we know are going to be coming rather than just having it in one big pot of money. So again, I'm glad to see we're fiscally helpful, but would like to see the council's direction be carried forward, and if not, it be continued into the next year budget rather than it just accumulating in our general fund. So I guess we need a motion then for acceptance of the annual report. I will make such a motion to accept the report.
I'll second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone
Aye.
opposed? Thank you, Mr. Armentrout.
Thank you.
Item 12, Resolution 7547, regarding the renewal of the contract with the audit firm.
You get me again. In fact, the next three items. The city has contract with Hinton Burdick for the last 5 years to conduct our annual financial audit. Their contract does provide for an additional 2 years at the city council's discretion to exercise that option. After consideration at the audit review committee is recommending that it be extended for just 1 more year, not the 2 years. Reason so that the new finance director and the new accounting manager will have a chance to get their feet wet and then be able to then formulate a new bid offering to select a new accounting firm to conduct our audits for fiscal years 25 and beyond. So the recommendation is to extend it for 1 additional year to cover the audit for fiscal year 23.
Thank you. Any questions or comments?
None for me.
Councilmember Adams?
Oh, I said none from me, so, sorry.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that having experienced the audit process here and at other organizations and a background in finance, I was very impressed with the work that Hinton Burdick did, and I found it was a very good idea to at least extend the contract for one more year while we were also in search of a new finance director and accounting manager. That's it.
Thank you. And again, I understand there is a set of circumstances regarding the review for a new finance director, but there's also the understanding that these audit firms are changed on a regular basis, and certainly Hinton Burdick seems to have done a very good job for us during the span of their contract. But the reason for changing firms is just that. You want another set of eyes on having these done, and that's why it's standard for most municipalities and other government agencies to make that change every 3 to 5 years. So for the one-year extension, again, it's circumstance-based. I will make the motion to approve Resolution 7547.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Mr. Armentrout, thank you.
Thank
Item
you.
13.
I'll dive into 13. This is resolution City Council to renew Agreement 13-1449 between the City of Boulder City and Southern California Edison for an additional 5-year term ending January 7th, 2028. The city first entered into a right of entry agreement with Southern California Edison in 2013 to install a fiber optic line along El Dorado Valley Drive within the El Dorado Valley. The original agreement was for a 5-year period with 4 additional 5-year terms upon expiration and upon request. The original agreement did expire on January 7th of 2018, and at that time they had exercised their first 5-year option of the 4 periods. Recently, they have notified the city that they would like to exercise the second of the 4 options for an additional 5-year period, which would set the new expiration date to January 7th of 2028. The contract does call for a 4% annual increase in the rent that they pay the city for the use of El Dorado Valley Drive and our lands. The rent set for calendar year 2023 will be $4,893.62, and then goes up each year by 4% throughout the 5-year period. Staff is recommending that we approve this resolution.
Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding Resolution 7548? Anyone wishing to make a motion on Resolution 7548?
I move to approve resolution number 7548.
I'll second.
Second.
Well, I'll second.
I believe Councilmember Jorgensen was first on the second. All those in
It's all
favor?
yours, Chair.
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Item 14.
Hopefully this is the last time you see me today. Similar to the last item.
We don't want to say that.
Similar to the last item, Southern California Edison did enter into a right of entry agreement under Agreement 12-1443A between the city and Southern California Edison for a right of entry agreement to access facilities on top of Red Mountain for both access and a communication site. They first entered into an agreement back in 1969 with the city, and over the various years have renewed that agreement or had new agreements with substantially similar terms renewed over the period. The most recent agreement set to expire just next week, on November 30th, 2022. They have notified the city that they would like to exercise the 5-year option extension as allowed for in the agreement, which will set the new expiration date to November 30, 2027. This particular agreement has their payment paid in a lump sum to cover the 5-year period, and it does escalate at 4%, and the lump sum payment for the next 5-year period was $1,890. Any questions?
Thank you. Questions or comments? Anyone wishing to make a motion on Resolution 7549?
Yes, I'd like to move to accept resolution number 7549.
Councilmember Jorgensen, would you like to second that
I
motion?
would, thank you, I'd like to second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, Mr. Armentrout.
Thank you, Mayor.
Outstanding work tonight.
Thank you.
Item number 15. Matters pertaining to the Fire Captain's Bargaining Unit contract. Mr. Tedder?
Yes, so the collective bargaining agreement, the CBA, for the Teamsters Local 14 Fire Captains Bargaining Unit employees expired on June 30th, 2022. Over the past 8 months, myself, City Attorney Walker, Administrative Services Director Bolt, and support staff diligently met with representatives of the Teamsters Local 14 Fire Captains Bargaining Unit to negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement. The negotiations occurred during a time of record inflation, as you know, and during a national labor shortage. The city and the union have tentatively agreed to a proposal to extend the collective bargaining agreement with increases in the city's contribution toward health care insurance, annual leave accruals, sick leave accruals, and wages. Pursuant to NRS 288.153, any new extended or modified collective bargaining agreement with the local government employer and a union must be approved at a public hearing. The chief executive officer of the local government shall report to the local government the fiscal impact of the agreement. So moving to that fiscal impact, the total financial impact of the 3-year agreement totals $556,119.11. For financial year 23, the current fiscal year that we're in, that's a combined increase between wages and benefits of $109,607.15. For financial year 24, the combined annual increase is $188,519.69. And for financial year 25, the total combined increase is $257,992.27. Funding does exist in the current financial year 23 budget to cover this year's fiscal increase in salary and benefits, and subsequent years will be properly budgeted and accounted for through the annual budget process. We've included a clean copy and red line of the CBA in your packet, and I'm here to stand for any questions.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Again, Mr. Tedder, I know this has been a long process. It's taken up a considerable amount of your time and Madam City Attorney, other members of staff. You know, this is, I believe, the 3rd contract now that has been agreed to. There are still a few others to do, but I congratulate you on the progress you've made on this. I believe at the last meeting I made the comment that, you know, nobody's ever happy at the end of a negotiation, but as long as it's acceptable to both sides, and this certainly appears to be, then it probably was a good negotiation. And with that, I will make a motion, or excuse me, we need to have a public hearing on this matter. So I will open the public hearing at this time. Anyone wishing to comment on this contract negotiation? Doesn't appear anyone present would like to make a comment, so we will take any calls. The phone number 702-589-9629. Again, this is a public hearing regarding the contract with the Fire Captains Bargaining Unit. Anyone wishing to comment? The phone number 702-589-9629. Madam City Clerk, were there any emails received regarding this item?
No comments were received.
Thank you. All right, hearing no one, we will close the public hearing on this matter. Questions or comments from council members? All right, I will make a motion then to approve Resolution 7550, approving this contract.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, Mr. Tedder.
Thank you.
That will bring us to item 16 has been removed. Item number 17, City Manager's Report.
Item number 17 is the financial report for the period ending October 31st, 2022, and there is nothing of note in this report.
Thank you. Any questions from council members?
None for me.
All right, thank you for that. And item number 18 is the City Manager's Claims Paid Report.
Yes, this is the claims paid for October, and there's nothing of note in the claims.
All right, thank you. Brings us to our final public comment. Anyone wishing to make comment during this period of time may do so on any issue. Each speaker will have up to 5 minutes to speak, and as always, we ask that you be civil and concise. Is there anyone present that would like to speak in the final public comment period? Attendance has dwindled since the beginning of the meeting. All right, we'll take anyone wishing to call in at this time. Again, the phone number is 702-589-9629. This is the final public comment period for the city council meeting. Anyone wishing to call in, the phone number is 702-589-9629. Madam City Clerk, were there any emails received for the final public comment period?
Yes, I have 2 comments.
Please go ahead.
The first one was provided by Andre Haynes. This public comment is provided by Andre Haynes, founder and CEO of the Armed Forces Chamber of Commerce. Everyone is invited to an Armed Forces Chamber business mixer in partnership with the Las Vegas Clark County Library District and sponsored by Lachelle Buckner, a licensed Medicare and Medicaid healthcare advocate, on Wednesday, December 21st at the Boulder City Library. Armed Forces Chamber business mixers in partnership with the Las Vegas Clark County Library District and sponsored by Lachelle Buckner, a licensed Medicare and Medicaid healthcare advocate, include a special presentation, swearing in of new members, updates, contests plus prizes, and much more. The Business Mixers Partnership with the Las Vegas County Library District and sponsored by Lachelle Buckner, a licensed Medicare and Medicaid healthcare advocate, feature an hour of networking starting at 3 p.m. and a brief program starting at 4 p.m. Armed Forces Chamber Business Mixer in partnership with the Las Vegas Clark County Library District and sponsored by Lachelle Buckner, a licensed Medicare and Medicaid health care advocate, are open to the public and admission is free. For details, visit armedforceschamber.com. The next message was provided by Art Swanson. It's actually from Cindy and Art Swanson. To Mayor McManus and Councilmember Adams, thank you for your service to Boulder City. We appreciate that after our recent presentation to the City Council, you verbally supported a citizen committee or commission to enhance accessibility in Boulder City. Hopefully, it will soon get started despite you are no longer serving on the City Council. Best wishes to both. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will close the final public comment period then and move to city council reports. Councilmember Jorgensen?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, I know I mentioned last week, but with it being Thanksgiving, and thinking about gratitude, just how grateful I am for those who have served. From my perspective now, and you see what it takes and the hours that you put in, I recognize that it is a labor of love. And it's a labor of love for the community and for the people that you serve. And I'm grateful for the three of you and the hard work that you did and the things that you've taught me. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Fox?
Yeah, I'll just jump on top of that. Thank you guys for everything you've done for this community. You guys have been great leaders here, and we're all appreciative with everything that you've done.
Thank you. Councilmember Bridges, shall we go that order?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I just, I don't want to break a trend, so I'm going to remind everyone that if you're dealing with an emergency and need assistance with rent or utilities or food, please contact Emergency Aid of Boulder City. You need to make an appointment to come in. But again, nobody in Boulder City should not be able to pay their rent or utilities because they're facing a financial emergency. I also want to thank, I didn't do this last time, but the best staff I have ever worked with anywhere. I know that they're not all sitting in the audience, but I just wanted everyone to know from the city manager, city clerk, city attorney, all the directors and support staff, and everybody who does anything and works for the city of Boulder City. I've been impressed and appreciative, and I want to thank you all. It's been an honor and a privilege to get to serve on Boulder City City Council. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Adams?
Thank you, Mayor. I guess for the formal report, I had both my Southern Nevada Health District meeting, Board of Health meeting last week, and as well as my Southern Nevada Water Authority meeting, both on the same day. So it was a little busy. But as far as Southern Nevada Water Authority, it was mostly a nuts and bolts meeting with a lot of we were paying down debt, a lot of good thing. But good news for Boulder City is our decrease in water demands right now, while during this year are typically low, we continue to see a per capita savings much greater than in any other area in the region. And while that, like I said, that is typical for this time of the year, if you look at our where we were at last year, we are greatly exceeding where we were last year as well. So kudos to that. As far as Southern Nevada Health District, we did approve of new 2023 food regulations, which will go into effect next year. That will align us with the national FDA, National Food Service Standards. While I don't think any industry is ever elated or excited to have new regulations imposed, we actually received a lot of compliments and kudos from food service industry leaders who were very pleased with the process that Southern Nevada Health District provided and supported putting these measures into place. And it was, of course, with their help to help make sure that we got something that everybody could agree on, and we were able to do that. Other than that, it is we are entering into the holiday season, and like everyone else, I have nothing but but gratitude for everyone here in this room, everyone, you know, everyone in this community. So again, thank you all.
Thank you. I will report that the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority announced today that the Final Four NCAA basketball tournament will be in Las Vegas in 2028. That will join the lineup of Formula One racing on the Strip next year and the Super Bowl in 2024. As the LVCVA has said, we are the arena for the nation and the world right now. So that's all good news for the economy here. I know I had said at the previous regular meeting that it has been an honor to serve as mayor here in my hometown. This is a unique community. It is an exceptional community, and it is a community where people come together at times of need. I've seen that over my tenure here as mayor during the pandemic. City staff, you know, we have had some changes in city staff. I think that that's been a vast improvement, and we have been able to move things along even during the pandemic. I want to thank other members of our city council as well. This is a job that requires some effort, and those coming into the position, I wish you all the best in continuing the governance of this unique community. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you all.